Hello, hello, and welcome. And this live is dedicated specifically to my newbies, to my little video fledglings. So many people join they've joined Video Playground. And when I ask the biggest struggle, I cannot tell you how many times a week, at least 20, I hear, I don't know where to start. And I get it, right? Video is not intuitive. And I also really want everybody to hear this. Video is not a Nike commercial. We're not just going to do it, right? And I hear so many influencers out there flippantly say, just put yourself out there. And then they're going into how they use live video, but there's no explanation on how to do the video, what to say, what steps you take, what buttons you push, what you should be wearing, what you shouldn't be wearing. Like, these are all the things, hello, video expert, right, that I remember from when I had to put myself out there. And if you are one of my fledgling newbies and you're new to me, yes, I have 20 years of video experience. So I get the video thing. I get why it works, how to show up, do all those kinds of things. What I didn't anticipate almost 6 years ago when I put myself online was that I was going to have to hop from behind the camera to in front of the camera. And I did not like it. And I was really bad at it. And at that time, live video was barely something. People were doing it. And I realized that was what needed to be done. And yet I waited and I waited and I waited because there was so much fear. And that's what I want to talk to you. I'm not going to talk to you a whole lot about the mindset and fear, but many of you could Google how to actually go live, but that's actually not what you mean when you say you don't know where to start. How I think about that is you don't have a trusted guide to help you step by step. Well, now you do, and I'm so glad you're here. But honestly, there are 5 phases to video success. And again, I'm not flippant about this because many of you have already spent thousands of dollars on courses that heavily depend on you going live or using video. And they don't teach you how to do it, or they teach you the very basics, or they just teach you the tech and they're not teaching you the strategy, the structure, the scripting, what to say, what not to say, what your audience wants to hear, how to get out of your head. That's where I come in. That's what I am as your video coach. But what I see there are distinct stages or phases of video. And the first is pulling off that bandaid. And obviously, if you're here, you're pulling off that bandaid. You're like, okay, I do need video. And you really do. So your first step is to accept that you need video. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Right? But accept that you need video. And I understand this is where I call her perfectionist Patty, but all the excuses start coming in, your best intentions, the avoidance, right? This is where that all starts to show up. I realize now you can see, okay, full disclosure, everybody, my wallpaper does not go, well, now you know, everybody, it's just a set. But if it helps you to pull that Band-Aid all the way off, do it quickly. I want you to think about putting yourself out there as a service, right? When you change the story inside of your head from you to serving your audience, it takes the pressure off of, I just have to sell some stuff. I have to make this work online. I have to. You have to learn a lot of things. Unfortunately, as a business owner, as an online business owner, even a brick and mortar business owner, suddenly you're putting on all these other hats. And even if you can outsource, hire out all of the other things, you cannot outsource and hire out your video. It has to be you if you're the face of your brand. Let me clarify, but all of you in Video Playground here are the face of your brand. And so you want to know how to show up on video. The second part, I mentioned it already, is the phase of finding a guide that you trust. And I cannot tell you how many people come over to me from other video programs, and they may have been good, but they were simply watching. And what I call that is being a bystander in your own business, because if you're watching pre-recorded videos on how to do videos, I'm sorry, but that's not effective, because only a small fraction of people will actually take action, and that's great. But what you need mixed with that action is feedback, right? I mentioned it last week. And if my daughter continues to play the piano wrong because she has no guide, right? She may have done a lot of piano pieces, but she's still bad at piano because there's no one saying to her, like, that was a great start, but let's do this. Next time, finesse here. You're in the wrong key. You're right. Like, you need to fix your headroom. You're talking at the wrong pace, right? Like, all of those things is you really need a trusted guide in order to get better. Right? In order to make videos, sure, buy a course that just teaches you how to make videos, but are you really going to do it? And so that is number two is find yourself a trusted guide. I think it's me. And then this is the hardest one for my perfectionists out there who are looking for their 5 stars and wear their cape with pride. You have to be willing to suck. Listen, nobody on video, nobody. I have never met a one-take wonder. I have never met a natural on video when they first started. Now, they might have the panache for going on video, and they find that video is actually their platform. That has happened to me many times with clients and students, where someone who is very resistant to video suddenly goes, oh my gosh, this is so much easier than writing all that shit out, right? And it is, and that's the thing you'll find, but you have to be willing to suck. And this is really hard for some people. This is harder than admitting, it's harder than finding your guide, but you have to be willing to suck. And that puts you in a very vulnerable, especially as a professional. All of us are professionals. We're the experts. We're really good at what we do. You want to shine your light, but there's this weird gap that you're thinking like, I should just show up and be really good at it, because you don't want to think of yourself as an amateur at anything. People, listen to my story. I was a video person who sucked on video. Yeah, that's a very vulnerable and uncomfortable place to be. But I sucked and I sucked and I got better and I got better, which brings me to the next part, which is you have to practice to connection. There's no magic unicorn farting a rainbow that you can hop on and make a connection with your online audience. There are things that you need to do, and that thing is practice. You have to get good. I'll go back to my daughter and her piano. She may get it right once, but if she doesn't do it again, she ghosts her audience. Yeah, the analogy is not working, but that's okay. She's not going to remember that. It's not going to become a muscle that you flex. It's not going to become part of your muscle memory, which video very much is. And I have to tell you, my live video journey went from, I scripted out every word, word for word. It took me hours. Like, it would take me 2 hours to prep for my live. Once I committed to going live, this will not be you, because you're going to be learning from me on how to not to do that, right? And then I went from that to an outline, from an outline to bullets, to today, where I literally just, I made my little banners, right? So it's a process that you need to practice, right? And then the last part of it is really reaping the rewards. And the rewards are huge, because you're reaching strangers with your gift, and you're shining your light, and you're helping them, which is why you want to do this in the first place. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I had comments. I got so far on my, hi Heather, rainbow farting. You know I love my rainbow farting unicorn. I've got a jiffy of it somewhere, right? And Heather too. Heather, I love talking about Heather because she showed up. She joined Live Video Launchpad, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But she joined Live Video Launchpad and said to me, I was chicken shit. And I have to tell you that Heather had to go through the process. She pulled off the bandaid, right? She knew she needed live because she was trying to show up on live and get online, right? But she had to be willing to suck. She took feedback so well. She really did, because I am not one, and you should know this, because the next thing I want to ask you to do is, if you have not already, if you've been hearing me talk about Live Video Launchpad, Live Video Launchpad, Live Video Launchpad, it is an amazing course. There's nothing else out there like that. You will get so much hands-on feedback. You go live, I give you feedback. You go live, I give you feedback. It happens in a 10-day bubble, and it's amazing. But you have to be willing to show up and do the work. And Heather really was. And the thing you should learn about me is I feel like I'm a really excellent coach. I can never be a life coach because I want to tell you what to do. I will tell you you did a good job, but you are not going to find a happy clapper club at Live Video Launchpad because I have 10 days to make sure you go from I am chicken shit to, oh my gosh, I had no idea that showing up could do this. And again, Heather, I think you're a perfect example of somebody who started putting herself out there and suddenly there is engagement and people are watching your lives, not once, but twice, right? Like they're actually consuming the information because it's information that they wanted. And that's part of Live Video Launchpad as well that we do. And I'm just going to put this up here so you can get on the wait list. You only have 2 more days to get on the wait list. Why? Because in 2 days, if you're on the wait list, you get a special invitation to join early, my early bird special. And the bonus on that is worth the cost of the course. So I really reward people who check the box and want to get on because personally, I'd love to just fill the course with people who are on the wait list. I'll only open it up to the general public if I have to, right? And so I would love to fill it with action takers, bandaid puller offers, people who are like, okay, I am ready for Tracy's feedback. I always say, if I were to redo my my pictures, I would love a picture of me where, of course, I'm wearing leather pants and really cool boots, and I'm walking away, and in one hand, I'm holding a woman's hand. It's lovely, we're friends. In the other hand, I'm just dragging a tiny little whip because that is how I coach. I've got you as long as you're willing to take the feedback and do something with it. And that's why I say there is no other course out there like this, because of the feedback. Yes, there are pre-recorded modules, but you can go through them. You can whiz through those. What you need to do is show up. It's not a ton of time. It's 10 days. If you dedicate 15 minutes a day for those 10 days, you will be rocking your video. Think about that. We start on June 14th. Again, it's not open. So there's no pitch for Live Video Launchpad right now, but get on the wait list so that you can get this amazing, amazing bonus. And so again, in 10 days, think about where your business could be by June 24th. It's almost inconceivable, but by the end of June, you can have a skill, a business skill that can generate leads for you. And many of you have come to me and you've signed up because you're coming to my Lives to Leads masterclass, and that's awesome. But just in case you're like an uber action taker and you're like, okay, I know she's going to mention this later. When you come to that, there will be no wait list. It will, that bonus will be bye-bye. It doesn't exist anywhere else except for my early birders. And like I said, I like to reward them. There have been people on the wait list from last cohort who missed it. They missed the cutoff. You know, we start together as a group and I couldn't let them in. And so they joined, right? So they have been waiting for almost 2 months for this to start. Now that is patience. That should be rewarded. So I am going to reward it. So again, if you are just starting with video, and in case you're thinking, Heather, change completely how video is showing up in my business and how I show up on video. Yeah, and for sure. And that is truly what happens to the majority of the people who show up and do the work. Again, no magical buttons. I can't make you do the work. But you'll want to, and the community is amazing. Heather will be in there. One of the bonuses that comes along with it is, I call it a VIP lifetime pass. Every time we run Live Video Launchpad, you can come and take part again for free. So you pay once and you can come back every single time. And that's an amazing, I mean, that's worth the price of the course, and that you get every single time. So there are people who started this, in the beginning, when I first started in the very beginning of 2020, who are still taking part, right? Why? Because it's a process, because you keep getting better, because the questions become more advanced on how to use the videos or what kind of videos, or you keep working with me in other capacities, right? But if you were brand new, brand new, the way you want to start with video is with live video. And it seems counterintuitive. It seems like the hardest way because you're really putting yourself out there. But if you think about it, you're putting yourself out there once. No overwhelming editing, no fancy equipment. And I cover all of that, right? The equipment, the background, everything that you need to be set up to look professional on your lives and turn those into leads is included in Live Video Launchpad, and no retakes. So many people come to me, Michaela. Wait, did I say it right for once? Michaela, I know you're on the wait list, my friend. Are you on the wait list? You better get yourself on the wait list. But anyway, so it is amazing and easier because you don't have to do 755 takes. So many people come to me and they're trying to do pre-recorded videos. They're like, oh, I heard I have to do this video. And they're trying to make it a pre-recorded video, which suddenly you do have to show up more perfect. You do have to. Live video, you can have notes. You can be looking at your notes. I'm always looking at my notes, and there's your people want you to show up human, right? And so to acknowledge your notes is fine on live video. And something you may not know, I love to share statistics, but your audience, your online viewing audience, prefers live video. They just prefer it. They know when you have pre-recorded and uploaded something and they don't like it, even on the replay. So they've done studies where people are watching a replay of a live and the engagement and the watch times are exponentially higher. So if you need to sit with that for a moment, because again, just another check mark on if you are not doing any video yet, you know you need video, which you do. It's not going away and it's only getting bigger. The other thing is it's not as flooded as Michaela. I did Michaela. God darn it. Oh, Michaela is what Michaela. Did I say Michaela? I don't know. Gosh, Michaela, every time you get me. I need to like make some sort of like something to remember your name. I'm sorry, darling. I know you're going to join me one of these times. Michaela is one who keeps lurking. She knows she needs it. She knows she needs it. So get on the wait list, Michaela, because it opens in 2 days and you don't want to miss it because the amazing bonus will go away. It'll go bye-bye and will not be available to the general public. So get on that wait list even just to see what that amazing bonus is, right? So lives are how you gain your camera confidence, as long as you have feedback, right? Like, so you're in my world, you're doing lives, you get feedback, you get better, it's fast. Then you can start incorporating pre-recorded videos, which are exponentially harder. And so I always kind of go, huh? When people tell me that they would rather do a pre-recorded video because you're still putting yourself out there, and live video is how you test your idea. So when I talk about making videos that your audience responds to, that your audience engages with, that your audience finds interesting, this is testing. You don't just do one live video and you're done with your live video career. No, but when you're doing live videos, it's much faster and you're going to have some, Teresa, stop lurking. Sign up for Live Video Launchpad. Well, you can't sign up yet, but sign up for the wait list, my love. You like Heather, I don't know if you're still here, but the community is so supportive, and the way I have it worked, and I'll talk about this more next week when the doors actually open, but since you're here and you're both lurking, with being able to take LVL again, you grow and get better and better and better, right? And yeah, thank you, Heather. It is the best course ever. And the reason is the feedback. It's the hand-holding. I do not take your money and then run. Like, for those 10 days, you are mine. Mine, right? And I take it very seriously. I want you to have success. Not only are you going live and I'm giving you feedback and I'm going live inside the group and you have the pre-recorded and you have amazing bonuses, but we also have 3 live calls where you can hop on Zoom. We Zoom and you can ask me anything. And Heather will tell you there is nothing off the table. I've been a part of over 65 online launches. Nothing is off the table. I will never leave anybody hanging because I get it, because I went down every freaking rabbit hole on the online marketing world that there was. Hello, I had 3 landing page builders and you only need 1, right? So I have been there and I get it. And everything that I design is designed for the person who doesn't know what to do. I get it. Right? But you are going to take action and you're going to like surpass me in the live videos, right? I mean, you won't suck as much as I sucked, right? It says LVL is awesome. Best course for sure. Jennifer Miller, is that you, my friend, Facebook user? And Heather says, Tracy's sincere desire for you to embrace live video is authentic and the secret sauce. And thank you, Heather. I appreciate you saying that because again, some of the things that I teach are like what makes you different. what makes you different is who you are and how you are showing up. Right. I had a little funny. We did a YouTube content planning party and we were talking about checking out your competition and all that kind of stuff. And for me, if I go to your website and you're a video pro and you don't have any video, that's a problem, because I want to know that my video pro knows what she's doing. And I'm always astounded. It goes for everything. If like you're an Instagram pro and you're not really showing up on Instagram or whatever, Jennifer Miller's in the house, right? So again, these are women who have been through it. They love it. They're super fans. They'll be in there with you. People take part. And I am going to, since we're all hanging out here together and we're trying to get Teresa and Michaela on the wait list so that they can sign up early, right? We want to make sure you understand what it's like. Well, it's 10 days. It starts on June 14th. And so now you're going to hear me saying this over and over again. But anyway, it starts on June 14th. And the way it starts is you'll get immediate access to the modules and the like, what buttons do I push? How do I show up? Blah, blah, like lighting, all that kind of stuff. There's a mindset module. And I will tell you, most people I think they join and they're like, oh, I don't really need that. And then they go through it, because I teach the way I like to learn, which is short little bites. And they go through this mindset module and they're like, oh, well, that was interesting, right? And it really is eye-opening. And then there are other modules just to get you going live, to help you going live. But the magic is the video prompts. And this is where I have the most fun, because I have a running list of video prompts, by the way, anybody who has been through it, if you think of a fun prompt, because I'm not having you go live. Tell me about you and your business. That is so frightening. No, we have done, tell me the best compliment you've gotten. Tell me, give me a book review and why I should read that book, fiction, nonfiction, your own book, doesn't matter, right? Like, so we do fun things like that. And I've got gaboodles of them, right? And we do a bunch of them until you get a little more comfortable, and then we get a little more in depth. And so the lives you're showing up for are so short, but in that short amount of time, I'm able to give you enormous feedback. And so, so it's really fun, which I think one of my favorite comments is from Matt, who does meditation. And I did a little interview with him and he's like, the one thing I did not think it was going to be was fun. And it is, it's really fun. So again, if you are a brand new fledgling to video, what I highly recommend is you start with live video, because it is easier. And again, if you're rolling your eyes and it's making you tense up, listen to that, but trust me that I am telling you the truth, and I would not lead you awry, because I did it. Heather did it. Jennifer did it, right? All of these people, and I've got hundreds of others, right? You are not the first ones who are like, I wonder if this course worked. It works. And I like to say I have a 100% success rate for the people who show up. So, and again, showing up is 15 minutes a day. So if you can't dedicate 15 minutes a day to your business, doesn't matter what time zone you're in. I don't care if you go live at 2 a.m. I will give you feedback on that live. All you do is tag me. That's your only job, right? So, right, correct. No editing. So it really is, and no fancy equipment, and no, like, you can do it from your phone. And I talk about all of those things. So any question you have about live that is floating around in your head is covered in Live Video Launchpad, 100%. Potential Live Video Launchpad prompt, which Bridgerton, oh, Jennifer Miller, which Bridgerton character are you? I loathe Bridgerton. And I know that sounds strong, but I really did not like it. So that's a fun one. I like that one. I wouldn't know who to choose, because I'd choose none of them. But also, Jennifer, maybe you can remind me that I said this, a fun thing would be an unpopular opinion. Maybe we'll start with that one. Share an unpopular opinion you have, and I can share mine about Bridgerton. And while we're there, I don't really like This Is Us either. Oh, I just said it. Yeah. So recorded video, it's a different animal. Come hang out, keep following me. I have a course called 6 and 6 where we talk about pre-recorded, or even just the homepage video workshop, because the recording and the editing, again, this is my push for live, is because there is none of that. And that is, highly scripted. If you're pre-recorded, that's scripted, right? I have only met one person in my life, one person in 20 years of doing video, who could kind of wing her pre-recorded videos. Now, what wasn't shared was how much editing was going on behind the scenes, because just because you can wing it recording doesn't mean that someone on the editing side isn't really heavily editing that. So again, that's time, right? Yeah, thank you, Vet. And how do you say your name? Vet. It's just fun to say, and I'm just getting Michaela's down. Michaela, whose name I say wrong all the time. But yes, so I want you to start with lives. Vet, if you're already doing lives, just follow along. I'm here. Even if you're in Video Playground, scroll down or put edit. I do little editing tutorials. I've done recording tutorials. I've done all those kinds of things. They probably exist for you. But yeah, so either, you're so nice. Thanks for making me feel good. I like to pronounce people's names right. Did I send you a banjuro? I send people banjuros. I either sing or I don't like to mispronounce people's names. So if you are on my list, if you're in my community, I've sent you a banjuro, or if you have signed up for my lives to leads, I've sent you a banjuro. And that's just a personalized little video. Again, that's a video that gets you used to it. You can't, when you're sending videos to your crowd and you have to send 30 of them in a day and you need to make them 30 seconds, you get good at video really, really fast. Right? But again, it has a live video element to it that you just got to get going. So in cohort 1, there was a woman named Debbie Lawrence from Canada, and she said, you just got to get her done. Get her done. And I guess there was a show where someone said, get her done, like Corvette, that. Awesome. Thank you. See, I am a visual learner, that. I will never forget again. Just ask Michaela, who I forget all the time. But anyway, I don't forget Michaela. I just forget how to pronounce her name. I digress. I want you to sign up for Live Video Launchpad. Just the wait list. It's not open yet. Vet, go ahead and do some searching in Video Playground. I'm not sure, because I'm on StreamYard, I can't tell where you're coming in from. But if you're not in Video Playground, search Video Playground with Tracy Phillips and join, and then do a search inside of there, because that's where I put all my good stuff. There's editing tutorials. There's, the basics. And again, whatever questions you have in Video Playground, ask them. It's awesome if you ask it with a fun jiffy, because I will respond, but just tag me and say, hey, I was on your live. I want to know more about this, or be as specific as you can, because again, I want to give you a personalized answer based on your experience. So this has been super fun. And for those of you, by the way, when I teach lives, I teach to go live for just a couple minutes, just till you get comfortable. People aren't on there anyway, and it doesn't matter. That's not the point of it. That's not the point of your live. It's not for people to be on there with you. Is it super fun when they are? Yeah, it really is super fun, but that's not the point. But when I go live, and I tell my students this all the time, my intention is to go live for like 15 minutes. But then I just get I love sharing. I love doing this. And I'm talking, and I have my outline, and then I start expanding on stuff, or I start responding to stuff. And that's the beauty of live. Because if you had told me at the very beginning, when I was hemming and hawing, and I used to talk like this and show up really quiet. I know, can you imagine me quiet? Yeah, it's been 28 minutes, right? So I'm going to wrap it now, so it's not video vomit. But I will see you all in Live Video Launchpad. Or I'll see you in Video Playground, Vet, where I can help you with whatever video stuff you need. So this has been fun, and I will see you next week. If you're coming to lives from Leeds, I'll see you on Tuesday. Have fun.